To prepare a suspension, first we have to identify the type of powder that we will formulate. So as I have introduced to you before, there are different types of insoluble powder that can be classified as diffusible and indiffusible powder, but we also have two other type of powder which are poorly wettable and also precipitate forming. But for the purpose of this course, we will only focus on diffusible and indiffusible powder to be formulated as suspension. Okay, for the two types of powder, we will discuss a bit, okay, on the difference between these two powders. So for diffusible powders, they do not need any suspending agent because they can disperse or they can suspend themselves. So examples, there are calcium carbonate, light kaolin, light magnesium carbonate, magnesium trisilicate, and rhubarb powder. So basically, the 6 powders here are those classified as diffusible solids. For indiffusible solids, they need the presence of suspending agent, and actually there are most drop powders are classified as indiffusible solids. So for drop powders that needs to be formulated into suspension, usually we will formulate them with the presence of a suspending agent. I give you some examples here to try to calculate and write down the complete formula for the following products. So question 1 is chalk mixture. You can get this from BPC. Okay, you have to prepare 120 ml to be labeled as 7.5 ml OD. Question 2 is ampicillin mixture. You have to use ampicillin trihydrate. So you have to calculate based on the molecular weight how much ampicillin trihydrate that need to be used in the formulation. Question 3 is cool-streamoxazole mixture, based also from BPC. So how to answer this question or how to formulate? First of all, of course, we have to identify the dosage form. And now, first you have to check the solubility of the powders. And if they have a low solubility, then you have to formulate as suspension. And the dose given, you can check from BPC what are the dose suggested by BPC and whether the dose that is asked or is written in the prescription is correct. Number 3, special requirement. So if it's a suspension that is going to be prepared from indiffusible powder, then you need a suspending agent. So what is the suspending agent that you can use? As I explained in the practical in the tutorial class, we can always use compound teragakan powder, CTP, at 2 to 3%. Need to use special form mean that as an example, the ampicillin, you need to use ampicillin trihydrate. So you need to do special calculation to determine the amount of ampicillin trihydrate that need to be used for the formulation. Special technique, the technique of preparation, I have already explained in the tutorial class, which you have to begin with adding the powder first. Okay, reduce the size of the powders, then only you should add the syrups or the carrier. Okay, so these are the questions, so I would like you to try to do yourself, and you have to remember that in the preparation you have to have the drug powder and the suspending agent, flavoring and coloring agent if needed, and then the vehicle or the purified water as the carrier. Okay, those are the 5 important ingredients that need to be added in the formulation of a suspension. So I would like you to try first, and we will discuss in our class, okay, later on what are the amount of each ingredient that need to be added. So as a pharmacist, we have to make sure that the suspension is readily redispersible and stable during its shelf life. If you are going to prepare extemporaneous preparation, extemporaneous means the product that you prepare in the clinics or in the lab by yourself. Okay, So if you need to prepare extemporaneous preparation, the expiry will be 4 weeks with preservative or 2 weeks without preservative. Okay, so if the prescription asks for a product to be supplied for less than 2 weeks, you wouldn't need to add any preservative. Okay. So remember to advise patients to shake the bottle before use and to ensure that the suspension is homogeneous before taking the dose. Okay, so that's why we have to ensure that the product is stable and it is readily redispersible during the shelf life. Also, we need to ensure a clear label is available to indicate the instruction to shake the bottle and other necessary instructions such as the storage condition and dose. This should be clearly labeled on the bottle. So as a summary for the class, suspension is a heterogeneous preparation, so its stability is very important. We have to know that there's different types of suspending agents that are available. It can be classified as natural, inorganic, or synthetic agents. Okay, so usually for oral use, we will use natural agents. Okay, and inorganic more for external use. Among the common instability problems associated with suspensions are sedimentation and caking, and also microbial contamination. So we have to bear in mind to make sure that we handle that problem appropriately. And if we are going to prepare extemporaneous product for less than 2 weeks, we don't need to add any preservative because 2 weeks is short enough for the product to be stable on by itself. So that would be all. Okay, I would like to thank you for your attention and see you in the next lecture. Bye.